Okay, yeah, you read that right. I sold my gold. Don't worry though, I didn't sell it all. Not a savage. We're gonna work through this. I'm gonna tell you why I did it, so stick with me. I think it'll even be helpful. So we talk about buying gold all the time. We rarely talk about selling it though. Well, we're gonna fix that. Before we do though, I need to explain a few things. I'm not selling my gold because I lack confidence in gold. I'm not selling because I need the money. I'm just selling a little bit of gold so we all better understand how to do it if and when we need to. Knowing what it takes to sell gold, that's just going to make us less nervous to buy more of it. So I'm selling some in order to feel a little bit better about buying more. Does that make sense? Probably not yet, but stick with me. By now, everyone here probably knows about my preference for eagles and buffaloes. They're my priority because they're just the easiest to sell. I can sell them directly to a private party. I know people firsthand who would buy them from me. I can sell them over the online marketplaces, maybe not eBay, those like it. I can sell them to my local coin shops. And at my local coin shops, I can sell them in any volume that I need. I can sell one at a time. I can sell 40 at a time. It doesn't matter. They'll take them all. I don't have that flexibility with coins or with bars from other mints. Doesn't matter how pretty they are, my local shops simply won't give me what most of these are worth. Now they'll buy them. I just won't like what they'll pay for them. So I limit what I buy. I try to purchase what I know I can sell at the drop of a hat, or what I think might have some kind of additional numismatic value over time, sometime down the road, something that I can sell for a profit, or maybe I just want to keep it, never sell it, hand it down as an heirloom. And that all works out fine. It's easy for me to stick to those two categories for my gold purchases, but there are local shops out there, larger markets, who are better about buying the more obscure coins. If you have ready access to those kinds of shops, well, you have more options, you have a wider buying selection, at least in terms of pain points if you ever go to sell. We can all go online, we can all buy whatever we want. 1 ounce gold Cameroon mandrel? Sure, easy. But you have to have the rare local shop that's willing to buy it from you if and when you want to sell. So that ends up limiting what you buy in a lot of ways. But there is another option. The big online dealers out there like JM Bullion and APMEX actually make this whole process pretty easy. You don't need the rare local shop. You don't need an established online presence to sell over, not eBay. You just need access to a phone or an email account. And what you're not seeing here is a 2022 Great Britain Royal Arms coin. You aren't seeing a Series 2 Lunar Goat. And you aren't seeing some gold backs. And you're not seeing them because the video that I took, well, I reformatted the card when I went on vacation. Lost that video. So you're going to have to trust me. They were beautiful coins, perfect condition. And the gold backs, I guess they were in perfect condition too. Now, unless I find a way to recover that video, we're not going to see them on the channel again because I sold them. So let's get into how I did it. Now, I could have sold these coins here on YouTube, could have sold them for quite a bit more probably, but most people don't have that option, and it just doesn't make sense for me to run through something that only a person with a YouTube channel can actually do. So I worked through it using an option that all of us have. I went out to JM Bullion and APMEX. Now, I realize not everybody has access to those two particular dealers, but here in the United States, they're the big ones. And just so everyone knows, I have a relationship with JM Bullion. They sponsor my channel, but it's at a very modest level. No offense, JM, but the point here is that I'm not beholden to them in any way. It's not going to influence what I say about them. I don't get any kind of commission. I don't get anything like that. So none of that's going to influence my decision for this video. I'm also a VIP member at APMEX, good for me. No influence there. I'm just familiar with the company and I appreciate their customer service. Both companies make it easy. With either one, you go to their site, you hit the sell to us link, you start the quote process, and you can get going online. You can call them, you can email someone there. It really doesn't matter. You've got 3 ways to do it. Now, I started online. I got quotes from each. I also called them both. I had some questions specific to what I was trying to sell. I also just wanted to get some background for this video. I got quotes from each for a 2022 Great Britain Royal Arms coin, Series 2 Lunar Goat, 2022 Chinese Myths and Legends Dragon, 2021 Gold Buffalo, and a 2021 Gold Eagle. I also asked them for a quote for a 10 ounce Pamp Suisse silver bar and a quote on some gold backs. JM Bullion beat AppMex in price on every item, just by a little bit. And some of those coins, they didn't show up in their tool, so I had to email the details. I had to go back a couple times to get the final quotes. But on the side-by-side comparison, it showed that JM Bullion was just slightly higher for everything that I had. They were also the only one of the two that was willing to buy back the goldbacks. Now, that part wasn't a big deal to me. I didn't really need to sell any, didn't intend to sell any, but I had been asking local shops if they would buy them. Actually, what I was trying to do was use them to buy coins, and none would. So I thought I would check just to kind of see what the outlets were. Now, all of this, very limited sample size. Does not mean that JM Bullion is going to beat AppMex every time. They just beat them in my case. So that's who I used. The real quick process here is that you go to the site, you enter the details of what you have to sell, and you hit the submit button. It's as easy as that. Now, if you're selling basic stuff, you're going to get the price estimate without going any further. If you do push through, though, you're going to get an email letting you know they received your request, followed by a detailed proposal with itemized prices. And from there, you can email them questions. You can call them if you want. If everything looks good, though, you just click a link that confirms it, and they send you a follow-up, making sure that you didn't click that on accident, and you're off to the races. They send you the mailing labels, and that's it. From there, you just pack it up and send it off. Now, this whole thing gave me a little bit of a weird feeling. First of all, kind of like the cash deals personally, and my gut was just saying that now's probably not a good time to sell. But I wanted to understand the process, so I called both companies. I talked to several reps, and the whole thing took me really about 4 weeks to finalize everything, not just an hour like I've mentioned, because I started and I stopped 3 or 4 times before I actually went through with it. Now, there were other things in play. Again, I have more effective ways that I could use to sell these coins personally. So I waffled on getting rid of them to begin with. I had that seller's remorse before I ever actually went through with anything, but we're going to come back to that because I still have the important part to tell you, and that's how much I got for them. So I sold a 2022 1 ounce Great Britain Royal Arms. I sold a 1/4 ounce Series 2 Lunar Goat and a handful of goldbacks. Now, spot price at the time, if I was using Kitco, was about $1,845. I got $1,950 for the Royal Arms. I'm rounding it a little bit. I'm going to leave off the decimal points. I got $490 for the 1/4 ounce Series 2 Lunar, and I got $2 or just over $2 for each one goldback. So as a point of reference, they offered $1,880 for the Type 2 American Gold Eagle. I think it was a 2021, and $1,885 for the Buffalo. Now, the shipping fee is on my dime. It came out of the total. It cost me $33 for 2-day FedEx, and the payment that I got sent directly to my bank account. Now, if I wanted it, if I would have preferred it, they would have sent a manual check, but there's a small fee for that too. This whole seller's remorse thing, that came from knowing that I probably wasn't selling for a good personal reason. Gold price is not at a high. I don't have anything I need that capital for. And at least one of those coins was a little bit of a personal favorite, and just visually speaking. But I've been wanting to do this video for a while. Really, that's just all I could come up with that I was comfortable parting with. Now, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to buy Eagles with the cash, and I don't have reporting requirements here because I actually took a very slight loss. That was part of the reason that I chose those coins. I paid just a little bit more for them than I got in the end. All that considered, though, the upside here is pretty clear. This process, it took about an hour in total. That's if you remove the longer conversations that I had with the reps just for background for this video. And beyond how easy this whole process was, the thing that stood out to me is that I got $70 more for the Royal Arms coin as compared to what I would have got if I sold an Eagle or a Buffalo. Buffalo was $5 more than the Eagle. Now, my local shop, they would have actually charged me between $40 and $80 had I made a trade from the Royal Arms coin to an Eagle. Now, had I simply just sold it to the local shops, I would have been lucky to get spot. Now, what I actually got for it, it's about 5.5% above spot. And that's pretty impressive considering I really only paid 6% over spot when I bought it. Now, I had to pay $30 for shipping. That comes off of what I made, but this makes me a lot less concerned buying some of the things that I know my local shops just don't like. I still prefer Eagles and Buffaloes. I like the uniformity. I like the additional local selling options that I have, especially if I want a cash deal. But when I asked both JM and AppMex if they had any limits on what they would buy, they said not really. Particularly with eagles or buffaloes. I think this part's pretty important. I asked them if they would buy 40 eagles, and both of them gave me the of course voice. One of them actually laughed a little bit. So I then asked, well, would you buy 100 ounces? Would you buy 200 ounces? And they both said, of course. So I think that that's important. You have an outlet for really any amount. Now, I realize that we're all going to have a little bit of hesitation here. My deal that I'm talking about is $2,500, not real nerve-wracking. Now, if that was $75,000 in gold coins or 100,000, 200,000 more, it's going to be a little bit different when we drop that off at the local FedEx station. But everything's insured, and really the important part here is just that we have that option. So that's it. That's the process. A little bit of the rationale behind it. Just did it for research. I'm going to be replacing that gold weight soon. Really, I just wanted to run through that process to show whether or not selling might be difficult in any way. I think we proved that it's not. It's pretty easy. So let us know what you think. Do you feel better knowing that you could sell online if you had to? Let us know. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit that like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.